Introducing the Paddy Power World Darts Championship.
Welcome back to Online Darts, everyone. We are here in Exeter and we've got Ryan Searle. Ryan, first of all, how's things?
Yeah, good. It's nice to be somewhere where it's not too much of a drive. So, 15 minutes on the train I was here. So, yeah, that's nice.
Well, the world's on the horizon. Is it feel real now? I feel like Christmas now that the world is here.
Yeah, so getting mine head out of the way now, and yeah, we'll be ready for the Worlds. I think now with the prize money of the Worlds, that's the main one to focus on. Obviously, if you can do well in that, you're flying. So yeah, main focus is on the Worlds. See how it goes the weekend at Minehead. But yeah.
Look, we'll come on to the Worlds in a minute, but you obviously chose not to do the Grand Slam qualifier, and everyone was asking why. And when you were here tonight, everyone was like, can you find out how come you chose to duck the qualifier?
To be honest, I just didn't feel like it. I was in the hotel at the Pro Tours, and I was like, if I qualify, do I want another potential week in a hotel room on my own? I was like, you know what, I don't fancy it, so I pulled out. I think the qualification for that is not correct. I think if you're winning Pro Tour events and stuff, you should be in. And there should be less qualifying spots, but it's obviously something that he's looking at. In my opinion,
you're not the only one that said that, so don't feel bad. There's plenty that have said that, but we know the Slam qualifying criteria is changing next year. They haven't said what we know it's going 16 groups and so on. So fingers crossed they take some on board for the players.
Yeah, the goal for hopefully the start of next season is to get back into the top 16, and then we don't have to sort of worry about that. Hopefully, if they're keeping it into the top 16, that's where you need to be, really. So, that's the main goal for the end of the season and the beginning of next season.
Got any practice with Gary penciled in before the Worlds?
No, but we do need to. I don't know how much he's been throwing. I know Ty obviously plays now, so whether Ty drags him on the board or not, I don't know. But
too much Gary said he's like.
No, I think he gets a bit narky with him at size. Yeah, so we'll try and pencil in a few dates for a throw and see how it goes.
Look, with that £1 million at the Worlds, is it hard to ignore the money and that goes with it? Because some people say, I'm not playing for the money, but surely when the prize is that big, you can't ignore it.
Yeah. Obviously, if you were to win that, that's life-changing money. It's life-changing for your rankings. You're going to be in the top 4 for at least 2 years. So yeah, it makes a huge difference, and I feel like in the future the other events are going to need to catch up with that. Otherwise, it's just too top heavy.
Yeah, I remember you speaking about the rankings at the start of the year when they changed the Euro Tour ones, and you weren't the only one. There was a lot of people vocal about it. A year into that, how do you think it went, and was still the wrong decision to do what they did?
In the end, I ended up getting called in as a top seed because obviously, a lot of the Premier League lot don't play all the Euro Tours, and I was fortunate enough to get called up and be a top seed. But a lot of the time, I was called up while I was at the airport, so I was having to waste a day and stuff like that. So it'd be nice to get back in the top 16 and just when you're playing them basically. Whereas I was sort of in limbo the whole of last season, not sure when I was playing. Then my Euro Tour season as a whole, this season was terrible. Which I think it has, for whatever reason, I don't play well on the Euro Tour. I don't know why it is. Last season, I thought I'd cracked it. I thought, I played really well on the Euro Tour. I obviously made a final, made a semi, loads of quarters. And then this season, it's all the way back to normal where I wasn't really performing. I did run into a few, really good performances. I was playing Littler second game and Price, and, I lost with 105 to Price. I lost with 105 to Littler, and that's just things like that where, you need a bit of luck as far as the draw goes. But, as far as the seedings go, they'll do what they want to do, and just got to go along with it, really.
Look, looking ahead, obviously a good Worlds could change the whole of next season. But as we record this pre-Worlds, like you say, the top 16, how do you go about breaking down the season to get all your little mini goals and where you need to be for those things?
Yeah, to be fair, it's happy days for me, really, for the next 2 years if I'm in all the majors, because I think I've hardly won a game at a major, so I've got all that ground that I can make up. And the goal this year, I've said in the last couple of years for the Wales, is to make a quarter final. And if you can make a quarters this year, it's 100 grand, and that makes a massive difference on your rankings, especially when it's quite tight in around the area that I am. So, yeah, the main goal is to try and make a quarters. Obviously, I want to get further than that, but, you know, minimum is to try and make a quarters, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Has the mother-in-law been telling you about the rankings again then?
What's that?
Has the mother-in-law been telling you about the rankings?
Yeah, I don't really look at that, to be honest, but I just kind of, yeah, I have a look every now and again, and yeah, it's just, yeah, that Wales is very top heavy, and like you say, the Premier League depends on being the top four, and what if someone outside or someone whose face doesn't fit wins the Worlds, what are they going to do, you know? So, yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Obviously, we know you're best mates with Luke Humphries, and guessing you talk a lot, and it's interesting his comments recently that now he's not world number one, he's finally got, I was opened up about it, that he never really felt like world number one. And were you surprised that he said it, or have you seen this coming?
No, I think that was clear for everyone to see, that all the limelight was on Luke Littler, and whether that's warranted or not warranted, that's not the right word. Obviously, he's a phenomenal player, and he's obviously backed it up after losing to Humphries in the final of the World Championship. He's gone on and backed it up massively. So, all that attention was obviously deserved. But I think, obviously, Luke went under the radar a little bit, being world number one, which probably wasn't fair. But also, he hasn't done the bad off the back of that either, has he? You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
maybe a little bit of pressure is lifted off of him with all the attention being on Littler as well. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to see him say he's not going to play many Pro Tours next year. That's a bit of a shame, because since he's been in the Premier League, I don't really get to see him much. I only really see him at the Euros and the Pro Tours. So if he's not in the Pro Tours, I'll hardly see him. So it'd be a bit of a shame, but
do you think he'll change his mind?
I'll try and convince him.
Sure, and I understand his reasons, and not just his, the big boys in general talking about that, but surely they need to play some, because that's where you stay razor sharp, isn't it, on the Pro Tour?
It is. It's a tough school, and if you look at Humphries' results on the Pro Tour this year, they haven't been great, and he's been running into massive performances, and it's just one of those things. It happens, you know. It's just sort of strength and depth of the PDC now, and yeah, it is really tough. But he makes it up on the Euro Tour. He always plays well on the stage. So it's just one of those things where if he's not doing well on the Pro Tours, he sort of makes it up on the Euro Tours. So
your outlook on darts is very different to a lot of people, and I love it, because you see so many people get embroiled in rankings and trying to win titles, where you're just like, as long as I earn a good living for my family, I don't really care.
Yeah, honestly,
it's refreshing.
I actually wish I cared a bit more, but I actually don't care. I was talking earlier about Minehead this weekend. I actually don't care about Minehead, like for these finals. I actually don't care. I'm more worried about the Worlds and being sharp for that. So we'll see how this weekend goes. And bit of a secret, I had an injury last week. Me and my son went to the skate park, and I ended up taking my skateboard. I've skateboarded like 20 years. Ended up like pulling a muscle in my calf, saying, and I couldn't walk for 3 days. And it still hurts now, but I'm walking right now, which is amazing. But so maybe stay away from the skateboard.
Not that
so I'm fit for that.
Heavy metal on a skateboard.
Yeah. So I say stay away, but when I was doing it, I was really enjoying it. So I might be getting myself a new one and go again. We'll see.
Yeah, I love that, Ryan. It's a pleasure catching up with you, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Very much as always.
Thank you, buddy.
Introducing the Paddy Power World Darts Championship.
To change your